Hi, this is Porter Thorndike, and I'm going to take you through the creation of the scatter matrix, average profit versus average cost of goods sold, located in the Retail Samples Charts folder. So what this visualization is showing us, let's start with just the bubble chart in the upper left cell. This is showing us each bubble is a model, and it's plotted vertically by its gross profit and horizontally by its cost of goods sold. And then we're applying a color by field so we see which product category these models fit into. That visualization unto itself very valuable, showing us a lot. It's showing us patterns by the product category. So in the case of EMEA in Q1, we see that the camcorders have high profitability, high cost of goods sold products. We're noticing vertical outliers, horizontal outliers. We're noticing outliers based on size. It becomes even more valuable because we're making use of the matrix row and matrix column to give us small multiples of that visualization across different dimensions in rows and columns. And vertically, we've got different rows for each quarter. And what this allows us to see are some of the changes that take place over time that would be lost if it was not broken out by quarter. And we're looking at this in matrix columns of region, so we can see how these differ across the different regions, and absolutely the combination of both of the rows and columns. So really a lot of information that's being communicated here. How would we create this example? We're going to start in chart mode, and let's start by creating that bubble chart. Okay, we go to the Format tab, we click on the Other button. The bubble chart is located in the XY plots section. And the bubble chart, it starts with what is the bubble going to be. Now I love a dimension with a large number of values, but no requirement that it be that. Whatever you drag onto the canvas first will be your detail field. And then we need to select how to evaluate this vertically and horizontally. And let's look at this vertically by gross profit and horizontally by cost of goods. Now you'll remember we applied the average to this, which we can get to just by right-clicking and saying more aggregation functions and applying the average, and we'll do that for cost of goods sold as well. And so again, instantly already delivering value. We're noticing some products that have much higher gross profit and cost of goods sold. I'm going to assume those are the popular products, the top selling products, and we have a tight cluster down here. If I want to evaluate these products in terms of which ones are selling the most, well, I can make use of the size bucket by dragging revenue into the size bucket, okay? And I will get some bubbles that are maybe bigger than others, indicating that. Let's add color to the equation. Because these models exist within product categories, it makes it a good candidate for use of a color bucket, okay? And so I noticed that 4 of my most profitable, but also highest cost products reside in the camcorders product category. I wouldn't know that unless I moused over every product and cross-referenced it, or I used the color bucket, which is very easy. Now if we want to break this out across different quarters and different regions, making use of the matrix rows and columns is a great way to do this, because this is communicating a lot, but so much is under the covers once we break it out into different quarters in different regions, or whatever you might choose to use as a matrix row or column dimension. So let's start with the quarters, which are located in the sales related hierarchy. If we drag sale quarter into the rows, it means we get a different row for each quarter. And already right there, something jumps out at me. I've got a number of product categories not delivering sales in Q4. Why is that? This is something that breaking it into matrix rows has highlighted that would have been lost looking at it in the aggregate of the year. And if we want to look at this across our different regions, well, maybe that's a good candidate for use of a matrix column. Okay, I'll drag region into the matrix column bucket. Okay, and as I start looking at this, now, why did we lose the column? That's because we're using a design record limit of 500 records that allows you to design this content very quickly in the case of going off of a data source that is not tuned for data discovery. But of course, if it is, we can always just turn this on to use all data with every click. And you'll notice that that delivers back all quarters and all regions. And we certainly notice, Oceania and South America lower sales as indicated by the different size, but still some very profitable products that we see. This has been creating the scatter matrix, average profit versus average cost of goods sold.